Welcome back to SatoshiConomy, honest global crypto news and info, where the message is more important than the messenger. Today is Saturday, August 3rd, 2019. As we speak, Bitcoin's at about 10,815. SatoshiConomy reveals the secret to contentment. That's what we're going to discuss today, because I want to just step back from what I usually talk about, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and the world, global economic, because there are things that are more important than that. There's things that are more important than money or relationships or school or plans that we have in the future or whatever. And I challenge myself, because I don't want to just be excellent. I want to be amongst the best of the best. And I want to challenge you also along that line and challenge you to consider some things professionally and challenge you to consider a way of thinking and a way of life. The simple basic explanation about the secret of contentment is this. It's the choice, or it's the ability to be satisfied whether you have a lot or a little. It's also the belief that no matter what happens in life, that you have the strength to get through it. And so in a deeper explanation, it involves the necessity or reality of believing in something that's greater than ourselves. It involves a spirituality, because money we can't take with us. Relationships we can't take with us. We came into this world with nothing, and that's how we're going to leave it. And as I was engaged, I'm newly married, and when I was engaged to my wife, I explained to her something. I said, I want you to understand that when we're married, that even at some point, if all we have is food and clothing, we're going to be content. And I wanted her to be able to understand that's the way I think, because I wanted to encourage her to think the same way, because I really believe that because of the unity that I saw that we could have together, that because of the power in that we could make a go of it no matter what came our way, we would stay together, we'd stay unified, and there's real strength in that. And so I wanted to set ourselves up to be able to draw from that when we're married. And it's working phenomenal right now. We're on a date right now, just her and I. I brought her to this park where we're at, mainly because of how quiet it is. Listen. I love that. What I say is, it's so quiet, it's loud. And what I found is that when I get to a spot, I have the habit of getting to quiet places, and I wanted to come here with her because of how quiet it is and be able to spend that kind of quiet time together. Because what I found is that when I get to places like this and I pause and think and it's quiet, then what I find is that what comes to my mind are things that are maybe heavy on my shoulders, things that I'm thinking about, maybe the next big bill coming up, maybe an offer that I put in, maybe a relationship that I'm initiating on or trying to develop, maybe something in my marriage life that I'm a little bit unclear about, or maybe something that's bothering me a little bit I need to talk about, or maybe it's a relationship with my family or my mom or something. But that's what happens when we get to a place. And when we got here tonight, I intentionally didn't say anything. I wanted my wife to start talking because I wanted to see where she was at, the things that were on her mind, because I just really wanted to give to her. I wanted to be able to give to her in a way that was productive and actually powerful, because if it was just me thinking, I ought to give to her in this way, many times I missed the mark. So with her speaking about what's on her mind, then I could see very clearly how I could address some of the things according to what she cares about, even in the moment. And as we were sitting here, she just started talking about her work. And she started talking about a specific relationship with someone who she has at work, a supervisor. And after we had been talking for about 20 minutes, that was the only person she talked about. It was the totality of the whole conversation. So it really helped me to be able to see where there's a way where I could really help her. Because if it's that important for her, then I could, I'd be pretty wise to discuss and try to talk through some things along that instead of what I care about. So other things that I want to just challenge you on is, how about you? Are you content with your money? Are you content with the amount of money you have? Are you content with your house? Are you content with your food and clothing, what you drive? Are you content with your family relationships? Are you content with your spouse if you're married? Are you content with your schoolwork or the grades? Are you content with plans that you want to make in the future? Because if you're not, then at least as far as a fundamental base, you can always go back to something that you've already decided on. And that's where the secret of contentment comes from, where when we draw on something that's greater than ourselves and we decide on that beforehand, then we actually have a set of principles that we can live by or attain to or aim for, that we can follow or even decide to obey, that will really get us through the tough times, because life isn't easy. Life can be cruel. Life isn't a garden of roses, as they say. So I hope that that encourages you. And I really wanted to discuss things in a different vein than I usually do, because, even though with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, this really is a once in a, even greater than a once in a millennia, it's a once in a history opportunity. It's the first time in history where a common people have an ability to be independent of any controls. And so it's the first time in history where money is designed in such a way that even levels out the playing field. I was reading an article earlier about medieval times, and it explained how there was a kingship or a king, and he had barons, and these barons appointed knights, K-N-I-G-H-T, and these knights would oversee all the rest of the serfs or the people, and the serfs had to till the land and farm the land, and from the produce they would supply the knights with all the goods, and I'm sure that also down the line or up the line to the barons and the king. But so there was a king, and then barons, and then knights, and then thousands and thousands of serfs. What ended up happening historically is that once coins or money or a different form of exchange of value came into play, that it minimized the functionality or the place of even the land as value. So things migrated, things evolved into a different sort of socioeconomic. But that was very interesting. And now today we have a digital currency. Money is evolving into a digital form. And if anybody comes to you and says, Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have no intrinsic value, run fast and far away from them. Because really what they're saying is that they haven't dove into, they haven't ascribed to, they haven't taken value, they don't get into the internet or new technology or forms that are new and cutting edge to a point where they use it a lot, so they see a lot of value from it, because they are entrenched in gold, silver, copper, nickel, fiat currencies, that type of system. And even at present, they have an argument amongst their followers or their kind that, hey, Bitcoin and cryptos have no intrinsic value because they have all their people cheering them on. But really what they're saying is I'm not invested in it much, or I don't get into that much of a cutting edge technology. But the real thing that gives anything value is confidence and faith. And there are millions and millions of people. I understand there's over 15 million people on Earth right now who participate in the cryptocurrency economy. They own a portion of a Bitcoin or more or what have you. And with that many millions of people, it means that we're still in the baby, just the beginnings of this economy, like 1% global adoption. But I want to step back, and I want this video to be more on the vein of contentment. And so even though we do the things that we do professionally in this field or have interest in this economy, just please understand and be reminded and be encouraged to do that for yourself. Get to a place and draw from something greater than yourself, and decide and choose the principles you're going to follow, or remind yourself of that. And you can be strengthened and encouraged, because life ain't easy, and we need to have an anchor of some sort to keep us stable and to be able to go out and to succeed. Personally, that's what I've chosen. I don't make money the most important thing, and I make I've chosen other things that are more important. But at the same time, I don't minimize the importance of money or finances. The idea is that because of the way I think, that sets me up in a very, very powerful position to go forth in a planned way to accomplish some of the things that I want to accomplish. And as I'm doing that and I'm learning, one of the things I like to do is to share some of the things that I've learned. And thus, that's one reason why I'm just doing this video. So, but I just want to encourage you to I hope you're doing well and successful. And just want to encourage you to, if you've gained some value from the video, please like and subscribe. I appreciate that, because that means this information gets out to more people, has the opportunity for that. And just define a course, set it out in a way of principles and choices that you make defined, set that in stone, so to speak, so that no matter what happens in life, you're going to do awesome. And not just excellent, but be amongst the best of the best. So thank you very much for your attention. I appreciate it. And until next time, peace.